Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2 between in the bottom left spawning as our red Terran player playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It's Cure. And in the top right for the Shopify Rebellion, one of the greatest Protoss players in all of Europe. It is of course Harstem. Man, extraordinary person, high-level content creator, and of course playing against the best of the best as well. This game in particular comes from the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. Harstem versus Cure on Royal Blood here, in which we see Cure open up with a Rex built somewhere else into a CC, or at least what seems to be into a CC. Yeah, Harstem scouts it immediately, knows what's going on, even starts blocking that command center. Look at that man. He knows what's up, starts fighting it as well. Then he says, all right, buddy, you're dead. Bang, bang. No chance for you anymore, my friend. And, ooh, follow up with a tech lab here. Marauders. Marine into Marauders. Is, of course, to deal with this Adept that's coming out right away. As Harstem seems to be following this up with his pretty standard Stargate play. He's a huge fan of the Stargate. And probably wants to throw that down once more here. Concussive Shell, second barrack, so this will follow up into a 3-Rex here out of Cure. Which is a good build order against Stargate openers, but Harstem very solid against these as well. Just Phoenix Colossus, Oracle Colossus, he can do whatever he wants and usually makes it happen. So Adept's gonna shade across the map, and it's important that this Adept does not get lost. That's absolutely key here. And that's indeed what's going to happen. It's not gonna get lost here. I can feel it. I can predict the future here. Look at that. Bam! Snipes this SEV. That is beautiful play right there. Concussive Shell not done yet. Sees the Marauder and it's like, alright mate, I'm out of here. I'll piss off right away. Reactor as a follow-up. We have a battery coming up at home as well. So if these Marauders make their way across the map, that would be interesting. That Adept does not finish up. Cure, of course, not aware of that. Does not want to be run by one of these Adepts as he moves out across the map. So we see an eBay coming down here as well. And an Oracle. I like this call. Generally, I think Oracles are fairly good against Marauder openers. Reaper into Marauder, Marauder, or Marine into Marauder, Marauder. Doesn't matter that much to me. I think it's always going to be fantastic. Absolutely fabulous. So Oracle into 4 gases. So most likely going to be the second Oracle into a robotics facility here. This makes sense if you scout Marauder, Marauder. You know that. And also you scouted the second Rex, right? So you know there's not going to be some type of quick factory out. You don't have to be afraid of mines. All you need to be afraid of is the 3-Rex basically. And your robotics bay can deal with that. Need to get a second gate at some point as well, but it should be fine. Here comes the Oracle, not dealing any damage as of yet. Might have even wanted to hide that until your opponent moves out. Turret already up in the main base. Nothing gets killed here. But also everything gets spotted at once. Second gateway on the way. Here comes the move out from Cure. This is a pretty significant force actually. There's not that many units here yet for Harstem. His robotics facility is fairly late as well, may I say. Can't start an Immortal right away. Doesn't have a sentry out, instead starts a Zealot. Way too much gas. Bit of a sloppy build, no Phoenixes being constructed. I'm almost starting to believe that Cure has the ability to launch a truly powerful attack. And there's not that much that Harstem can do about it. He's adding another pylon here, a sentry goes down, robotics facility does get started, or sorry, Immortal gets started, Robo Base starts as well, but Oracle's not being at home, super battery can be activated at a moment's notice. Force fields needs to be good here. Otherwise this Immortal will not pop out. Here comes the force field. No, it's not in time. Battery gets sniped. Harstem gives up his position and oh no, in a world of trouble right away here from the start. Immortal does pop and good target fire on the Marauder, but 3 workers go down already. Oracles try to make their way back home as more and more workers do end up dying. First Oracle gets sniped and more probes will go down here. So not quite the dream start that Harstem was hoping for. 43 workers against 43 is not, yeah, it's definitely not what he wanted. Colossi is busy popping out. As the Immortal stays in the main base. Adept could be moving back down as well. Here comes the second attack. Sentry gets sniped. More probes going down. Harstem with a massive blunder. As Cure pretty much picking up the win here in the early game. 12 probes going down. This is not how you want to start your Colossi play. Interesting move here though out of Cure. Rather than a fast third base and kind of cementing his lead, he says, hey, I'm gonna kill you, but killing people that play Colossi after Stargate can be fairly tricky, especially if there's an early Immortal out as well. So, yeah, I want to see this. This I want to see. Because I'm curious if that is actually going to work out. Harstem is moving out on the map right now, wants to fight with these Marines. He says, hey, you only have a single Marauder out currently. I think I can fight that, even though my army is tiny. Colossi trade extremely well against Marines usually. If you can deal a little bit of damage here, that would be fantastic. Okay, here comes Harstem, takes out one Marauder for free, swipes it down. Guardian Shield is available as well. Harstem continues pushing. I thought this would scare Cure more, but Cure not very scared at all. He's not even gonna pre-split, says, nah, no way you're attacking into this. And he's probably right. Revelation is going to be cast upon this army. Is there any observers out on the map? There isn't really. There's a third Colossi now on the way. Thermal Lance popping out as well. Actually, third Colossi not on the way yet. Should start soon. There we go. +1 on the way. We have our Nexus. And this is why I said 5 Rex seems weird. Because eventually you're going to need to build a third CC anyway. Much rather have a faster third CC. Slight delay on Barracks 4 and 5. Most of the time, the most important thing is what the starport is doing. Not so much what your barracks are doing, because your barracks can be idling for a lot of time, as long as your starport is building. That's what matters against Phoenix Colossus, or against Colossi builds in general. At least majority of the time. Once again, Harstem, being slightly aggressive out on the map, is going to move back as well, though. It's not going to ruin his, you know, the spot of comfortableness that he's carved out for himself. Second Stargate and +1 air weapons. A sign of an inferior player, of course. This is one of these builds that you really only see worse players do. You almost never see, like, Hero play this type of style against someone that's 800 MMR lower than him. No, you'll do it against, you know, worse Protoss players against better Terrans. It's just the reality of things. Here comes an interesting little fight with the Oracle perhaps in trouble. One Colossi gets split off and will start fighting these Marines, but a couple of workers will die. Well, that's a ambitious move forward. It's not going to work out, obviously. Super Battery gets activated, but the Immortal goes down. It's a bad start here for Harstem, who's down 30 supply. Is going to remain down that supply for a very long time, I think. I'm not quite sure if does he want to chase here? I don't think you want to chase her, buddy. Don't think you want to chase. Is he thinking of a fort base? Because that's also a mistake. A couple of potential mistakes here. Stalker's moving in position. Could snipe one Viking, perhaps. No, not going for it. Not wanting to commit. Here come the Vikings once more. I think this is a mistake, though. 2-3 Vikings will go down for, well, absolutely nothing, basically. Harstem survives. There's a little bit of cash in the bank. Can't really spend it due to his lack of gateways and his complete focus on basically the follow-up here being double Stargate and most likely a fleet beacon eventually. Would love to see a fort base go down, just purely based on the fact that he has a lot of cash in the bank. He can't spend it on gateway units because they're useless. So it's either cannons or bases, and I don't think we're going to need 5 cannons over here. I think a cannon per base would be okay. See a cannon here in the natural, 1 cannon in the main wouldn't hurt. And then followed up, yeah, with a fort base. This is a very good call. It's a call that I definitely agree with as well. Does feel like Cure's a little bit lost as to what to do. He continues building mines and moving very aggressively on the map. But against high Phoenix counts, that can be scary. Is this enough Marines to deal with this? Eh, it's close. Not sure if it's enough. Forward fort base gets taken here. Seems like it might be in danger immediately as well. Harstem, of course, fairly blind. No observers on the map whatsoever. Using all of his robo time to get units out that actually deal damage. This is going to get cancelled. Yep, it will. Revelation gets cast immediately. Uh-oh. Lift on that mine and another Viking gets taken out. I actually think he could have chased here. This was only 7-8 Marines. And it's a lot of Phoenixes. Harstem, however, afraid of a drop heading towards the right side. It's the instinct of a Protoss player, I guess, thinking he's gonna get dropped at all times, but the instinct was wrong and had some good pickups here. I mean, half +1 on the Phoenixes as well. Could definitely picked up every single Marine, maybe even cleared a couple of these medevacs. There was some potential there, that's for sure. Carriers now in production as we have 2-2 starting for Cure. is expanding a little too slow, perhaps. Maybe Cure doesn't quite understand the position he's in. I don't think this is a very common type of build that he will see every single day on Korea. We're gonna see here what he decides to do with this. Okay, the fact that this is a planetary tells me everything you need to know about Cure versus Phoenix Colossus Carrier. He has never played against this in his life. It is that obvious to me now. Obviously, this is supposed to be an orbital command. The moment the Phoenix Colossus Carrier player goes across the map, you've most likely lost the game already. And if you have, like, the planetary is not going to help because you're fighting mainly air units. Like, you need turrets, not planetary. So this kind of shows that Cure isn't completely understanding what's going on here. There are a couple of cannons out in this general area. Good force field out of Harstem, as he's holding this spot rather well too. Have to just admit it. This guy's playing some fantastic StarCraft here. Ship weapons just now starting though for Cure. Means that his upgrades are just going to be fairly behind. Oh. Double pickups on those mines is a possibility. Oh, there we go. One Phoenix. No, stays alive. Was afraid it was going to die. Double Colossi, one Disruptor, and the Phoenixes should be enough, especially with those Anion Pulse Crystals nearby. Of course, we shouldn't forget the left side either. Phoenixes have the ability to quickly rotate between two sides. That makes it very scary for Cure to be on the map. Cure kind of splitting up his army in two spots means that if he ever loses one side, he's gonna lose hard, because these Phoenixes can chase, they can pick up every single unit, and there's a lot of Phoenixes. That's the power of the Phoenix. It's a perfect chasing unit. The moment you lose anti-air in one base, or sorry, on one side, that army is dead. The medevacs die, the air units die, the high-value units like the Ghost and perhaps the Marauders also end up dying. Like, it's just, it's over, it's over, it's over. Now, 4 cannons on the left side. We have 6 cannons actually going down on the far right. That makes me wonder here if Harstem can easily hold this. Seems to be completely fine with these Disruptors, kind of splitting them off. And this is a very passive style. Look how little Harstem has done during this game. A true Protoss player so far. Just barely doing anything. Turtling to air toss units. Yeah, what is this? Is he sending out a sentry for scouting? What? It's a high tier play that I haven't seen before. God. You figured I'd seen it all, but this guy always manages to surprise me with his smooth brain plays. Left side here is looking very weak, by the way, for Cure. This is like one Disruptor shot away from just straight up dying. Viking count is at 10, which isn't all that high. Mothership is on the way. God, Mothership building time is way too long. Let's face it. Let's face the truth here, my friends. Look at this. Disruptors coming in. Carriers coming in with a flank as well. Now these Disruptors, are they going to hit something? Not really, but this army is going to get cleaned up fairly easily. Harstem not wanting to move out too far as he has no vision on the map, does not know where the second army is. Now sees this and is like, hey, wait a second. I think I can actually deal with this just fine. Maybe I should have moved out across the map with my carriers already. Of course, you don't know what's being saved up at home either. And it is a bunch of Vikings with +1 already. No second armory yet, I don't think. No, just a single armory and only +1 on the ship weapons as well. Phoenix is there, tried to get EMP'd, but Terran didn't manage. 5th base should be on the way here as Harstem starts his move out. Mothership over halfway done as well. Probably wants to revelate the right. Oh, Colossi being taken out. Is that the end of the world? No. Is Cure losing this army the end of the world? Perhaps. Yeah, that is a pretty big deal, actually. So we see Cure maybe going in for a base trade with this. Of course, Phoenixes can take care of this. Lots of these Oracles and Phoenixes going down here. So we still have 4 Disruptors. Another Phoenix goes down. Another Phoenix goes down. I think that was 4 or 5 Phoenixes there. No, wait. Only 3 Phoenixes have been lost. So I guess it's 3 Phoenix total. Still, there's more Phoenixes than ideally you want to lose. Here we go, Harstem taking out that sensor tower, losing the observer straight into a turret. Uh-oh, Harstem overextending a little bit here with your +2 carriers against these Vikings. He has a lot of Vikings go down, but so did 2 carriers just now. Here come the Phoenixes though to help out. Interceptor count still healthy at 36. But I think we'll need an alternative angle here to deal with this. What are you doing, Cure? No way. No way Cure thinks this is the correct call. No way Cure thinks this is the correct call. Throwing away Vikings for free here. That has to be a mistake. 2 libs are being built as well. Now, the problem is that these rocks are in between, so disruptors can't zone out the ghosts, which means that ghosts and marines get to shoot on at interceptors for free. That's not entirely what Harstem wants over here, but at this moment, only 5 Vikings remain. And even with just 18 interceptors, that is going to be a doable fight. Now, there are 4, 5, 6 starports, 4 starports, all with reactors. So that's 8 air units at a time. There's 4, 5 stargates coming in. 5th stargate somewhere being built. Yep, here. All in the main base. And of course, superior upgrades as well still for Harstem. Still only +1 ship weapons. No vehicle plating at all here for Cure, who has gotten wiser during the game. As you see an orbital command on the 5th base rather than another planetary. But not having that... Ooh, that's a nuke. That's a nuke and a half, but gets spotted and immediately gets lifted. Harstem doesn't mess around. Is adding in a couple more Phoenixes to probably try and tank against the Vikings. It's an interesting call. You can see he really thought about this. You know, rather than just mindlessly spamming these carriers. Like, wait, Phoenix is quite good against Liberators, quite okay against Vikings for the tanking. There's going to be some overkill on these Phoenix shots as well. Cure moving forward with turrets here, pretending like he's Maru, but he isn't Maru. Maru is really good at this. I'm not so sure if Cure can do it as well. Uh-oh, maybe he can. Is going to try and take out, well, at least these cannons. Disruptors moving back as well. What is the anti-air count? 17 Vikings, but where are they? Where are you, Mr. Viking? Okay, they're all here. Here comes the move forward out of Harstem. Starts targeting down medevacs. Lost a couple of workers, but mainly cannons so far, so not the end of the world. Phoenixes are still being produced. 9 Phoenixes are out. Rocks here being taken out, but these rocks, I think, are just a way for the interceptors to come out of the carriers. No, not quite the case. Interceptors are back into the carriers, which means that these Vikings having a pretty decent time. 1, 2 carriers get sniped. Phoenix is on the side doing an okay job. Mothership tanking a lot of damage, though, as every single Viking goes down in the air. Look at that. 39 Vikings have gone down and only 4 carriers in total. Phoenix is being thrown away, but that's their purpose. 4 Disruptors still out as well. And now Harstem with 22 Interceptors looking pretty strong in this game as Interceptors are being built. What is it? 9 at a time with these 9 carriers. Yeah, 8, 9 Interceptors at a time. So that's easily going to replenish. But how quickly can Cure replenish his Viking count is the question. So he's building 8 at once as well. The upgrades are just so bad. Only having +1 ship weapons really hurting him. Okay, here we go. Attacking with the Interceptors on these rocks. Either wants to move through or actually just wants these Interceptors to be out. I'm not so sure what the goal is over here. Now starts attacking this random turret ring on the right side. Here we go. Forward scan. Do we have a time warp? No. Instead, we get a massive EMP on absolutely everything. But all Vikings get blasted. 12 Phoenixes alive and only 4 Vikings stay here. Disruptor count still at 4. What is there on the ground? We have 12 Ghost, 5 Marauders. A couple of turrets. New nuke is being produced as well. I wonder if Cure's going to be capable of doing anything. I love this split off of this Bioforce. It's going to force a recall out of Harstem. Oh, it's a fake recall. He recalled workers. What a brilliant call, but Cure maybe not smart enough to understand what was happening and just stood there and shot. If this was a real carrier recall, I think he would have lost every single Marine and Marauder there. So, kind of a weird call, but we'll accept it, I guess. Lots of Ghosts, lots of Vikings here as well. Still superior upgrades, of course, for Harstem. Bio's gonna try and move back. Command center will get taken out, most likely. There we go. We see Harstem microing these Interceptors while making sure they stay out of the carriers at all times. And here we go, onto the turret, onto the Vikings. Lots of Vikings taking a lot of damage immediately as we target fire them down. You see them being shift-clicked one by one over here as we have these Phoenixes taking the brunt of the damage. Harstem wants to move into the main base, says, hey, I don't actually want to deal with your main army. I want to deal with your production right now. If you don't have any production left, what are you going to end up doing? And the answer is, well, pretty much nothing. You can't do anything if you don't have production left. This is just a single pylon defending this area. Disruptor gets sent in, but no, gets taken out. And one base will remain mining for Harstem as he moves in towards the main base of his opponents, where a majority of the starports are, where every single Viking is going to get taken out right now. That is what, 3 Vikings. Ghost on the low ground. Can they fight against these Interceptors? I'm not sure if they can. He's definitely trying to do it, though, as Liberators are annoying Harstem on the left side. Cure struggling in this game to stay alive against the brilliant Dutchie. This carrier is going to get sniped for free. Poor play out of the YouTuber. Factory also flying around And every single starport is getting shot here, is getting completely shafted. Disruptor's still here, but you can't really snipe disruptors with Ghost, can you now? This bio army still around as well. Disruptor being sent out, this Phoenix flying through the turret. Through the fire and the flames, it dies. This carrier, not quite sure what it is, just attacking a turret here, also dies. So carriers being lost left, right, and center, but Harstem still in the lead. Resources lost 31k against 42k as the final starport is being blasted. Well, is that the final starport? Is there any more? Oh, there's one more over here, yeah. No new starports being constructed yet. Are turrets being added? Oh yeah, that's a lot of turrets actually. Look at the ghost count as well. 11 ghosts, 17 marines. Here we go. 11 carriers with their interceptors. Here comes the Purification Nova. Poof! Hits a Marauder. Here comes another Purification Nova. Hits another Marauder. It's 2 Marauders that you lose for free. Lol. As this Planetary is going to get targeted down. Or maybe not. Holy crap, Planetaries are good. What? See if the armor upgrade? Okay, he does. I guess that helps. Harstem does not want to lose all of his interceptors here for free. Doesn't actually have that much cash to constantly replace those. Nuke is going to land eventually. Harstem, of course, fairly aware of this. Is Cloak available? Yeah, Cloak is available, so these ghosts could stay alive forever. Is there even a single... Okay, Observer is on the way. Here we go. Phoenix is moving in as well. Can we get a Cloak on these ghosts? Can we get a Cloak on these ghosts? Yes, we can. Now Interceptors start falling, dropping like flies. There's actually not enough money to replace the Interceptors. That is something Harstem needs to be very careful about, because he's actually getting outmined in a big way. Vikings are being built. Turrets could be going down as well somewhere, and turrets actually would help. Is there still an eBay? There's 2 eBays. I don't understand the complete lack of turrets. Feels like that would be the correct call here. Turrets and taking out the last bit of mining that Harstem has, but Cure not going for it. 11 SCVs being taken out. What a game of StarCraft 2 this was. The Mass Carrier, Phoenix Disruptor, and Cure just struggling to get to it. Poor upgrades on the air for a long time. Slow expansion on the bases, and it's getting completely destroyed here in a long macro game. Good lord. Some fantastic play here out of the Protoss, that's for sure. Here comes the right click on the Planetary. We'll take out a bunch of these SCVs as well. Turret gets taken out eventually. The armor upgrade is huge, but the carrier DPS is even bigger. Observer in the back is going to help out. The final EMP on these Phoenixes with 150, 140 supply against 48. 14 workers to 25, plus 3 carriers. Doing a number here on these Ghost and Marines. Not a single Purification Nova has hit in the past 8 minutes, but it doesn't even matter. GG gets called. Harstem wins the game. What a brilliant player here. Realizing that in the early game he completely lost and saying the only way I come back into it is by just purely camping into carriers. Wow. What a great player. I wonder what happened in this series in the other games, but I guess we'll never find out. And I just imagine... I can only imagine that Harstem won this series after such a brilliant game. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.